This is a 2023 Audi SQ5 Sportback. The Sportback was a new variant for the 2021 model year Audi Q5 SUV, and it did receive a pretty thorough update that same model year. But this does still ride on the second generation platform that's been with us since the 2018 model year, which begs the question, why am I reviewing a 2023 Audi SQ5 Sportback? Well, the updated Audi SQ5 was one of the last cars I reviewed when I still worked at Auto Week, before I set off on this YouTube adventure that I'm on right now. And I really liked that Audi. So when the chance came up to review this one, I jumped at it. If you're at all curious, I do have a link to my Auto Week article in the description. By the way, this is a 23 model year car, but there are no major changes for the 24 Audi Q5 or SQ5 either. But despite its age, I bet this actually keeps up very well with the premium compact SUV class still to this day. Am I right? Let's find out. I review all kinds of cars and I have fun every time. Please subscribe and join me. The base price for the 2023 Audi SQ5 Sportback is $60,395. And my car did come with several big ticket options and costs $76,515. Yeah, not cheap. With that, now is a good time for me to pull over and show you around and inside this car in a bit more detail, show you a few of those options I'm talking about. Looking at the car from the front, it is still largely what we saw for the 2018 second generation Audi Q5, but we do have a couple of refinements. This does have the Sport Optic package, which does include some black elements, and this also has the $8,900 Prestige package, which includes a lot of stuff for the inside of the car, but also these matrix LED headlights right here. I do like the placement of the fog lights coming nice out to the edge, making the car feel extra wide, but I bet you're like me and much more curious to see what's underneath it. So there it is, your turbocharged 3-liter V6 mounted longitudinally or fore aft under the hood like that. Also, we have a strut tower brace right here, goes across from just behind the shock tower here, meeting in the same place in the other side. And that's in addition to these nice triangle braces that come in right here and then go behind the firewall. You can see it under the vents right here. Oh, and by the way, windshield washer fluid is actually way off in the corner right here. Looking at this Q5 Sportback in profile, you definitely get a better sense of the sloping hood into the sloping rear hatch right here. And you can see pretty clearly how that would cost you a little bit of storage space in back. But you can also see that this is a nice flowing line built into the Q5 Sportback, and it is just a nice shape overall. I will go ahead and put the dimensions up on the screen so you can see that, and let you know that I have a lot more information in the description. Also, you're looking at the Floret Silver Metallic paint, which is a $595 extra cost. However, every single paint, barring one, white, is a $595 extra cost. So, also going back to that optics package, that is why we have black side view mirror covers right here, which is a nice touch. And we do also have some other black. We have the black right down here at the lower cowl, and we have this pretty gloss black right here for the window trim as well. Generally, I'm not a huge fan of SUV coupes, but this is a really well executed design of that. This Audi SQ5 is equipped, as I said, with the S Optics package, which means we get 20-inch wheels with summer tires, in addition to those black elements and the black side view mirror cover. However, this is also equipped with the 21-inch wheel package, which means we get 21-inch wheels. But it's also December in Michigan, so these 21-inch wheels are equipped with winter tires. And that definitely makes a big difference in terms of the front end response and the ultimate handling of this car, so that's a bit of a shame. Also, because we have the S Sport package, which is a $3,000 option, we have air suspension, we also have a sport rear differential, and red brake calipers. Looking at the car from the rear, it is just a really nice design, but my pet peeve is here, and it is in full effect. We do not have quad exhaust tips. These are not real. These end right here on both sides. Totally fake. We do have dual exhaust tips, but they are underneath. There and there. And frankly, I think these quad exhaust tips look rather silly. With the rest of the design looking so nice, I can't accept it, but I don't have to love it. You get a really not bad 25 cubic feet of storage behind the second row, and you also have these nice LED lights on either side as well. Now, if you opted for the non-Sportback Audi SQ5, this would be 26 cubic feet instead of 25. Not a huge difference. And if you need more than that amount of storage space, it is easy to do. Pull a couple of levers and you have 54 cubic feet of storage and room for two. If you had the non-Sportback, that would be a little bit better again, 56 cubic feet. But either way, I do think this is enough room for my bike, but let's find out. It's a little bit on the narrow side when it pinches here, but it's not bad. The nice big open space made it easy to slide in. So yeah, you can fit a bike comfortably, no problem. Let's take a look inside. This interior is called Magma Red, and it's lovely. I am 5 foot 11 inches or 181 centimeters tall, and I have, decent knee room, couple 3 inches, and I am just barely too tall in terms of headroom, but the seat bottom is nice and high, so I do have good thigh support. And as a result, I have a less than 90-degree bend in my knees. We have a 3-zone climate control system in the Audi SQ5, and it is standard equipment. Also, we do have 2 USB ports right here and the old school 12-port charge port right there. We do also have heated seats. We do have the usual controls on the door right here, but we do also have 2-position seat memory, and the cargo bay open is right there. Also, we have nice material on the door, nice stitching, faux suede, and this carbon fiber inlay right here. The pedals are wrapped in aluminum, and the steering wheel does both tilt and telescope electrically with the control right there. The seats themselves are a $1,000 option because they are wrapped in Napa leather, and it does have this nice S embossed into the shoulder area right here. You do also have power controls for the seat right here, including lumbar support. The steering wheel has a decently thick rim, though if I'm honest, I could go a little thicker. But we also have controls on both sides, included a heated steering wheel and shift paddles just behind that. You are looking at a fully digital 12.3-inch Audi virtual cockpit. This is part of the Prestige package. Normally you'd get a 7-inch screen instead. And because we have the Prestige package, we also have a head-up display right there. And next to that is a 10.1-inch center console touchscreen that does have wireless Apple CarPlay, but wired Android Auto. Now, I've mentioned the Prestige package a couple of times. It is $8,900, and it includes a long list of stuff. So I also brought the vehicle window sticker. I'll just read it off to you because there's a lot. The Bang & Olufsen sound system, auto dimming power folding exterior mirrors with memory, Sirius XM with 360L 3-month trial, Audi advanced key and Audi virtual cockpit, that screen right there, memory for the driver's seat and the heated rear seats that we saw just a moment ago, the Matrix design LED headlights with headlight washers, OLED tail lights, organic LED tail lights, top view camera system and park assist, head-up display with traffic sign recognition, LED interior lighting plus package, MMI navigation plus and Audi phone box, Audi Connect Plus, Audi active lane assist, Audi traffic jam assist, leatherette covered center console and door armrest, dual pane acoustic glass for the front side windows. So these guys right here helps keep some of the noise out. Certainly a nice touch. Heated steering wheel with hands-on detection, and here's a fun one, heated and cooled cup holders. You've got a button right here, press 1 for cool, press again for heat. It is this cup holder right here with the metal bit right there. This one does not have it. But yeah, there you go. The Prestige package offers quite a lot. Here are the first 2 zones of the 3-zone climate control, and beneath that, drive select, that's our drive modes. We also have a tray right there, and this is a smartphone charger. All right, let's talk drive modes. You have 6 drive modes and they pop up right here. And because this car has all that extra stuff with the sport suspension package, we do have drive and suspension adjustments. And as you can see, you have variable vehicle height as well, thanks to the air suspension. If you're in comfort, it tends to be a little bit higher, but if you switch to dynamic, it drops down as low as it can. The lowest setting is for loading and unloading only, and there's actually a switch for that in back. That's low. This particular review is not going to deal with much off-roading. We will spend most of our time in comfort and a bit of time in dynamic as well. Speaking of, now's a good time to get back to the drive. All right, let's dig into the powertrain. Find out where 349 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque come from. As I showed you, under the hood is a turbocharged 3-liter V6. Not a bad start, certainly. And it does have a pretty interesting layout. It has a relatively small bore and long stroke, which definitely will aid in providing more torque, but does make it a little bit harder to rev. No matter, Audi seems to have overcome that because we do have a relatively high, like 6,500 RPM redline here. It does have a fairly high for a turbo motor, 10.1-to-1 compression ratio, and it does ask for premium fuel to make its power. By the way, it is the same turbocharged V6 that I drove in the 2021 Audi SQ5 for Auto Week, and I liked it then too. Attached to the engine is an 8-speed automatic transmission, and of course, just like every other Q5 that Audi sells, this is all-wheel drive, quattro. And it's also one of 3 powertrains. The base engine is a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder. It makes 261 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque, or you can get a plug-in hybrid option of the Q5. It uses the same turbocharged 2-liter, but then you get the electric motor and battery pack. Grand total for the horsepower there, 362, and you get the same 369 pound-feet of torque. But worry not, if you are, this is still the quickest Audi Q5 you can get because it is lighter than the plug-in hybrid. And it's really just a nice motor in general. I'm currently in the comfort driving mode and just have the transmission in D, but if I floor it, after the kickdown, I get a nice snarl from the exhaust and really good pull from this motor. Now it does take a moment to kick down, so I'm going to leave it in the comfort drive mode, but I'm going to put it in S for the transmission. Now that it's in S, it's going to want to stay in a lower gear for higher revs in general, and when I floor the throttle, the kickdown is about the same, but then it is more aggressive to shift to the lowest gear possible and accelerates strong. And I do have to say, I really enjoy that snarl. Audi tuned the exhaust really, really well. But all right, let's try the dynamic mode. Now I'm in the dynamic mode. I still have the suspension in sport, and let's floor it again. Yeah. Okay, it still needs that couple of seconds to kick down. That timing doesn't really change, but once it does, everything is as aggressive as possible, and you do get strong acceleration. Also, the gearing of the transmission is suitable for nice acceleration as well. You get a nice snap off the line, and you're pretty much always in either the torque peak or the horsepower peak range, so you get good pull throughout. There is a downside to that, however, and that of course is fuel economy, and these days you have to be honest and say it's not that good. You get 19 miles to the gallon in the city, 24 miles to the gallon on the highway, 21 combined. That's so-so at best. And if you look at something like the Lexus NX 350, which is also all-wheel drive, which does have less horsepower, it must be said, but it does considerably better. I'll go ahead and put its numbers on the screen just so you have a comparison. But to be fair, this engine definitely sounds better and provides healthy horsepower and torque figures. Also, acceleration is way more fun than fuel economy, as important as fuel economy is. Of course I tested it. Let me show you that right now. All right, everybody, time for an acceleration test in this Audi SQ5 Sportback. I do have it in the dynamic drive mode, And I have the suspension in S, not D, so sport shifting. And I also have the stability control completely off. But I do also have all-wheel drive, so I'm not expecting much of any tire slip. All right, see how it goes. Okay, coming to a complete stop. Foot on the brake. About 2,500 RPM off the brake. Oh man! Oh, that shifts too. Oh. Oh my. That is good acceleration from this premium compact SUV from Audi. Turbocharged 3-liter V6 doing its work and doing it quite well. That 8-speed automatic transmission shifted quickly when we were in the S mode, and having the brake torque really did build up a nice surge right off the beginning. Woo! Fantastic acceleration from this Audi SQ5. Audi says that the SQ5 Sportback can go 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds. And with that aggressive pull off the line, I definitely believe it. All right, let's talk chassis. In the SQ5 Sportback, adaptive shock absorbers do come as standard. So you get variability in the stiffness of the ride by changing drive modes. What's not standard, but this car does have, because it has the S Sport package for $3,000, is an air suspension. And because it has the air suspension, it has even more adjustability when you go from one drive mode to the next. It also adjusts the ride height. You saw that I could get the vehicle nice and low when you're loading and unloading. It also has different ride heights for comfort driving mode versus dynamic driving mode. Dynamic puts it a little bit lower. That does take away a little bit of suspension travel, but does keep the center of gravity nice and low. This does also have dynamic steering, which is variable adjustment to the power steering, but it has a wide variation level. You really can get very fast turn-in response with this car. All those things are very cool and adds to the proper sportiness of this compact premium SUV. But those winter tires I showed you really does take away the real feel of how this car would behave with all those systems. Tires play a huge role in how a car feels, so to do a handling test with winter tires just frankly wouldn't be fair to this car. But something that isn't the same, but it is on the same platform and does cost pretty similarly, is the Porsche Macan S, and I did get a chance to do a handling test on that vehicle, so I have a link to that review in the description, and it will pop up right there if you want to get a sense of what this car might be like. But I can definitely comment on the ride. It does have a very pleasant ride, especially in the comfort driving mode, which I'm in right now. It absorbs bumps and lumps in the road with zero trouble and handles heaves in the pavement just fine as well. It is a touch stiffer than your standard premium compact SUV from, say, Lexus or Mercedes, but not by much. And there is really good body control and a nice general flatness in the body as you move around corners. So it has all the elements that would make you think it's a pretty nice handler. I just can't confirm that with winter tires. But I definitely can take it on the interstate with winter tires, and I definitely did. Let me show you that right now. All right, everybody. Time for a quick stint on the interstate. I am back in the comfort driving mode. We are in regular D on the Prindle again, and of course I have stability control back on as well. We do have 21-inch tires, but we do have 21-inch winter tires, so that's going to be kind of an in-between of stiffness for smaller sidewall, but also, you know, a little bit more give in the sidewall for snow traction. So that'll be something interesting to watch out for. Okay, cruise control is set at 78 miles an hour to go with traffic. I do have adaptive cruise control, and it is doing its job just fine. And we do have a lot of driving aids. I'll go ahead and put them up on the screen right now. You heard me list a fair amount of them because we have the Prestige package. Not all of this stuff is standard. And it's not as exhaustive of a list as some other cars come with, but ultimately that's fine by me. We'll just focus on ride comfort and noise in the cabin and things like that. And I will say right away that the noise in the cabin is fantastic. We do have that acoustic glass on the front side windows, not just the windshield, so that helps keep some of the wind noise out for sure. And this generally is a really nicely isolated cabin. I do hear a little bit of wind going around the side view mirrors and things like that, but it is highly muted. Also, road noise is nice and quiet as well, so generally this is a very pleasant cabin to be in inside. And the 3-liter is keeping itself awfully quiet as well. At 78 miles an hour, it is right around 1900 RPM, so under 2000 RPM. You just have a nice low hum in the background. It's a pleasant noise as far as I'm concerned, so to me that's not a problem at all. Also, the seats are very comfortable. I have nice warm hands because of the heated steering wheel. The heated seats are keeping the rest of me nice and warm, and the 3-zone climate control gives every occupant some nice options as well. And yeah, I would think that this is a fantastic road trip car. So, what do I think of this 2023 Audi SQ5 Sportback? It's aging well. It isn't the newest thing out, not by a long shot, and yet it still feels contemporary in most every way compared to a lot of other premium compact SUVs out there. I think the styling is really nice, both outside and inside. Inside especially. It's a really well laid out interior. It has all the options I would ever want, and the seats are comfortable, and I have plenty of space and plenty of cargo space as well. Also, we have a really good structure here, and Audi did a good job to isolate the cabin and tune the suspension in such a way to compromise ride and handling really well, at least in my opinion. Oh, and one more thing. The sound and the pull of this turbocharged V6 does not get old. Oh man. So yeah, even though this is one of the older compact premium SUVs you can get, in my opinion, it's still one of the nicest as well. I'm Robin Warner, thank you for watching. And if you like this video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up. Doing so helps me out a lot, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, I do a lot of car reviews like this in addition to car news. So if you have any interest in keeping up with the auto industry, please subscribe to my channel. That also helps me out a lot, and I'd really appreciate that. And if you are in the market for a compact SUV, one of the newest ones out there is the new Mercedes-Benz GLC 300. Now, that is the base engine, and it is not as quick as this SQ5 certainly, but Mercedes-Benz did add a lot of neat things to the GLC, and I have to say, I quite like that one as well. So I have the link to that in the description, and it should pop up right there. Or maybe you're looking for something else entirely. Well, I have reviewed a lot of stuff by now. Something will pop up next to me. Hopefully that's something you're interested in, and if you do end up watching it, I definitely hope you like it. Okay, goodbye for now.